What is a complex number? A complex number, z, is a number that can be written in the form z equals a plus I times b, where I is the imaginary unit and a and b are real numbers. Let's try to illustrate how all of these types of numbers are related. A complex number is a combination of a real number and an imaginary number. Just like the real numbers are denoted using this r, the complex numbers are denoted using a c. A complex number, a plus bi, where b equals 0, is simply a real number, a. A complex number a plus bi, where a equals 0, is a purely imaginary number, bi. When both a and b equal 0, you simply get 0. 0 is real, complex, and imaginary all at once. And finally, when neither a nor b equals 0, you say that you have a complex number, with both the real part a and the imaginary part b. It's common to use the letter z to indicate that you have a complex number. Let's investigate this further by looking at an example. Find the real and the imaginary parts of the complex number z equals 2 plus 4i. Let's start with the real part. The real part is the term that does not include the imaginary unit. So in this case, the real part of z is 2. The real part of z is denoted by re of z, which equals the real part of 2 plus 4i, which is 2. Now, let's look at the imaginary part. To find it, you look at the real number that's multiplied by the imaginary unit. Here, that number is 4. The imaginary part of z is denoted by im of z, which equals the imaginary part of 2 plus 4i, which is 4. And you're done. Let's look at one final example. Find the real and imaginary parts of the complex number z equals the square root of 3 minus 5i. Again, you start with the real part. The real part of z equals the real part of the square root of 3 minus 5i, which is the square root of 3, because that's the term that does not include the imaginary unit. Next, you look at the imaginary part. The imaginary part of z equals the imaginary part of the square root of 3 minus 5i, which is minus 5. The real number being multiplied by the imaginary unit is minus 5. A complex number z is a number that can be written in the form z equals a plus I times b, where I is the imaginary unit and a and b are real numbers.